I would also like to give a brief history of who we are, who Somaliland is, where Somaliland is. Perhaps the world has been hearing the narrative that Somalia, our neighbors, have been telling the world about who Somaliland is. But today, I would like the world to know who we really are. Somaliland is a former British Somaliland protectorate, which is a neighbor to the former Italian Somalia that you all know about. A Somalia that has been known for all the things that Somalia does. Somaliland has been peaceful since its independence on the 26th of June, 1960. During those 64 and 65 years that we have been independent, Somalia has been telling the world that Somaliland is part of Somalia, when in fact Somaliland is the senior partner that was independent when Somalia was still an Italian colony. When Somaliland was independent and received the sovereignty of its territory, it was entrusted with the territory of the former British Somaliland. The borders of Somaliland today are the same as they were 65 years ago when we gained independence from Great Britain. The borders have not been changed. The way of life, the customs, the traditions, and the language of Somaliland has not changed. We had experimented with sharing an administration with neighboring Somalia. However, this union never worked. It was a union, it was an attempted union between two independent sovereign states that neither one owned the other. Somalia never owned Somaliland. Somaliland has never been a region of Somalia. And when Somaliland was independent, and when Somalia was still a colony, there were still another 42 countries in Africa that were still under colonial rule when Somaliland was independent in June 1960. I know the bulk of countries in Africa gained their independence in 1962 and 1963, when Somaliland gained its independence in 1960. Since we separated from Somalia, since we withdrew from the attempted union with Somalia, Somaliland closed its borders where it had been set by the British. We brought our people back from refugee camps. We settled our differences. We rebuilt our country without formal recognition from anybody. We built it without World Bank, without IMF, and without bilateral aid. We built it with our own resources, with our own energy, and the best we could do. Somaliland developed its institutions, developed its constitution. We are ruled by our constitution. We are ruled by our elected members of government. We are ruled by the elders who sit in our Senate and in the upper house. We are ruled by the laws and the customs of our nation that we have respected for centuries. That is why peace and stability work in Somaliland. We have built our country. We have rebuilt our government institutions. We have law and order. We have our own money. We have our own passports. We have our own way of dealing with the world. We have many partners in the world. We trade with the world because we are located in a very strategic location at the mouth of the Red Sea. We are a nation of traders. We are a peaceful nation that has been known as traders for centuries. That is why our coast, which is 850 kilometers long, has always been free of terrorists, has always been free of pirates, has always been free of Shabab and any other troublemakers. We are a nation who is the gateway to the entry of the Red Sea, where a big number of the world ships go past our sea lanes. Our waters, the waters of the Indian Ocean and the mouth of the Red Sea, which is known as the Gulf of Aden, is a marine sanctuary for rare marine biology, for all marine lives, and shipping and resources. Somaliland today is a nation to be friends with, a nation that is deserving to be a member of the international community and to have its place among the nations of the world who believe in peace, who believe in justice, who believe in democracy, and who believe in the rule of law. Somaliland is a country that welcomes all who have the same vision that we have, a vision of traders, a vision of peacekeepers, and a nation that has respect for all human dignity and human values. I wish to extend my encouragement to the countries that are still thinking about, do we recognize Somaliland or not? I think recognizing Somaliland would be an advantage to all of us. It would be an advantage to all those who wish to trade with Somaliland, invest in Somaliland, and become part of the world in the Horn of Africa, which is a gateway to the rest of the continent of Africa. We are neighbors to Ethiopia, which is landlocked, a neighbor, a friendly neighbor, a brother nation that we have always traded with for centuries. We are nations to many countries to the south of our borders and beyond the borders of Somaliland. I hope this will be the beginning of a new opportunity of trade and brotherhood and partnership in the Horn of Africa. I know the narrative that Somalia has been telling the world, but then all those who read geography and who know about history will know that Somalia is not telling the truth about Somaliland. It tells what it wishes to tell the world. When it tells the world that we are fragmenting Somalia, Somalia doesn't need any help from anybody. It fragments itself. It does the job of fragmentation on its own. It is a country that has been known for all that it does. Somaliland has a track record of 34 years of stability. That is proof that Somaliland is a nation that deserves a place among the dignified and recognized nations of the world. There will be no Pandora's box. We have been separate for 35 years. This has not caused any Pandora box. No other nation has followed Somaliland's separation from Somalia. There will be no fragmentation of Somalia because Somalia is already fragmented. There can only be good that come from the recognition of Somaliland. And I encourage all those who are thinking about it to please think wisely about it and think about the history and the opportunities